The last man that tried to date me, he ended up also trying to convince me later on that I wasn't all that. It was weird because he spent about, I don't know, 7 or 8 months just pressed to meet me. I just gotta see you. I gotta be with you. I gotta do this. Just, on the phone talking this shit. Girl, you so beautiful. Girl, you this. Girl, you that. Bop, bop, bop. The bullshit. The bullshit. And we went on our first date. Had a good date. Wasn't even really a date. You know why? Because us meeting each other was so we could decipher whether we wanted to continue seeing each other. And it wasn't a date. We just got together and decided to have a conversation with each other. And that conversation lasted for about 3 hours. And inside of this conversation, he said a lot of things. And these things I'm going to go over because these are the things that I would want for women to ignore. And these three things right here that men say to women when they first meet them is exactly why women put a price tag on a pussy. Now, what made me decide to make a video about this and how much women actually are costing men is because earlier today I was on a live. No, I wasn't on a live. I was in a messenger. And that guy I was engaged to last year, he hit me up and he said, "Hey, my birthday is coming up in July. Um, I want you to design a flyer for me." Right. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. Send me over $35 for your flyer. I'm still gonna charge you. Let everybody know I did your flyer, and that way you can get me more clients. Right. He was like, "I don't have no problem paying. I paid for pussy." So, right, I had to gather myself because I wanted to probe him first before I got upset with him for saying such a thing because he's giving me thousands of dollars. Now, men have given me thousands of dollars before. He's not the first man and he wasn't the last man to give me thousands of dollars. And I don't have to have sex with a man or be engaged to a man or be in a relationship with a man in order for him to give me money. Men have always been giving me money since the beginning of time. So it's not a new concept to me. This stuff that women are talking about with hypergamy, this stuff with the sugar daddies and sugar babies, that's old news to me. I'm 40 years old. So I've been, through the process of how much am I worth? How much should I charge? How many dates do I have to require before I have sex with a man? Is he gonna, you know, treat me to getting my hair and my nails done? These are thoughts that I always had in my mind. But the type of woman I am, I always was like, you know what? I got to go get my own bread. I cannot be sitting here expecting these men to do this stuff for me because I'm beautiful. And if I want to stay beautiful, I have to maintain my beauty. And that means in order for me to maintain it, I got to go out there and I got to make my own bread. Right. So it's just like, I'm not about to sit up here and expect these men to give me money, waiting on them. And what I noticed with a lot of men who were giving me money, um, they were extremely disrespectful and condescending. I just didn't like their tone when they would speak to me. And a lot of men who were financially stable would try to belittle me. And so early on in my early 20s, I had already made the decision that I was not about to be the woman that was going to stick with a man simply because he was, funding the type of lifestyle I wanted to have. So here comes a guy that I was engaged to last year, and he says to me, back to what I was saying, he says to me, "I want you to make a flyer for my birthday." And then he says to me, "Well, I have no problem with giving you $35. I paid for pussy." So I said to him, let's see if we're on the same level. This is my question to him. Let's see if we're on the same level. Are you saying that you've paid for mine? Like, let's be clear. Have you paid? Do you feel like you've paid for mine? Because if you feel like all of the money you've ever given me was some type of transaction so you could be with me, then I understand why we've had a lot of friction and we never got married. So let me see what you have to say about this. And suddenly it was, oh, I'm joking. Oh, I'm joking. I was like, okay, whatever. So anyway, so anyway, there are three things that new men say that they tell women to manipulate women, right? And these three things are three things that men need to stop saying. Okay. Whether you're trying to play a woman or you're trying to take a woman serious, these are three things that you need to not say when you are first meeting a woman, whether you feel like she is high value to you or not as a man. There are three things that you need to stop saying. And these three things are why women are starting to put a price tag on a vagina. I hear a lot of men saying, hey, women are expecting me to go ridiculous on first dates and they expecting me to kick out bread and take them on trips and they want to live a certain life of luxury. And I just don't got it like that. Why are women suddenly starting to be that way? Now, let me explain to you. It ain't been a sudden thing. Women have always been doing this to you. Women have always found ways to get money out of men. What we are taught from the time we can understand what a relationship is, most of us have been taught to make sure that the men that we date are financing us in some type of way. So it's not no new age thing that women are walking around here wanting your money. We've always been taught that. It's just we've found ways to manipulate men in a manner that makes them think that they are not tricking on us. I made a TikTok a couple of weeks back where I said that men really think that they aren't paying for the P word, right? Because I can't keep saying P word on YouTube, but men think that they're not paying for it when in reality men are. Because if you are taking her out to eat, if you are giving her money, if you are just spending money on gas to drive across town, you are in fact paying for the P word. You paying for the pleasure. All right. You just paying for it in another way. And women in one way or another are going to get money out of you. Relationships cost money. If you don't have any money, you might not want to start dating. I see why a lot of men want to build their wealth first before they start dating and before they start getting in a relationship, because dating costs money. Women are expensive. So these three things that men say to women all of the time are why women are starting to flat out tell you, you gonna give me some bread. Because men have three ways that they manipulate women. And when you do these three things and say these three things at the beginning of a situation with a woman, it puts her in a mental place to make you start proving whether or not you're going to take her serious or not. And a lot of women feel like if you put money into them, you must be about to take their ass serious. Okay? So the three things that you do not say when you first meet a woman, or she going to try to come after you for money because she know it's a manipulation tactic, whether you consciously are doing this or consciously, or you just doing it, subconsciously. All right. Number one, talking about what kind of relationship that you want to have, what kind of partner you want to have, what kind of woman you want to have. Do not tell women this shit. Number one, you got women out there that might fall for that because a lot of narcissists use that as a love bombing tactic to talk about what kind of woman they want because they want that woman to become that for them. But then you got another message that sends to other women where you start talking about this kind of woman that you want. If she starts measuring herself up against this woman, she is going to try to make you work harder if she doesn't have those characteristics that you're naming. So if you have this long list, let's say you got 6 things that you love women to do. that you're dating. Don't say those 6 things. You tell her those 6 things, 2 things could happen. Number one, you dealing with a woman who gonna try to be those 6 things, and she probably not even those 6 things to begin with. Or number two, you're gonna meet a woman who's not those 6 things, but she gonna make you work harder to get her because you just told her a whole list of shit you weren't. I mean, she wasn't. So now she's gonna make you work harder to get her. She wants to come off as more valuable. You know, she wants to play hard to get because you just named all this shit she wasn't. You just talked about all the stuff that you wanted in a woman. This is a mind game some women play with you. I'm putting you on game. And I'm also putting women on game as well because when a man says to you this long list of shit he wants in a relationship, a lot of times a lot of women will take that stuff personal and try to be that. Don't do that. Okay? So fellas, stop saying that to women. don't list your what you want in a relationship. Okay? And ladies, when men list what they want in a relationship, don't try to be it or compare yourself against it. Because what he wants in a relationship generally don't even matter. It's what type of relationship he wants to have with you specifically. Because each man wants something different from each woman. Like he'll meet a woman and she'll be an exception to the rule he's had. People do that. Okay. That's number one. All right. The second thing that men have to stop saying, unless they just want to be manipulated by women or they're trying to manipulate a woman. This is deep right here, so you really got to think about what I'm saying, and I'm trying to explain it the best way I can. The psychology of men and women is easy to figure out when you've been talking to both genders and you've been giving both genders counseling. So because both genders are coming to me asking me how to deal with one another, it's easy for me to tell you what type of thought processes people generally have when they come to me and they're asking for relationship advice. Number two, please do not make promises about what you're going to do. Like how many dates you're going to take them on, or how many trips you're going to take them on, or what type of jewelry you're going to buy them, or shit like that. Making promises. Fellas, don't do that. When you make those promises, these women are going to hold you up to that. So when you break fly and try to pretend like you got all this money and you got all of this, these resources that she can use you for, instantly in her mind, she is trying to figure out a way to pull those resources from you. All right. You start talking about how much money you got, then you wonder why a woman wants to use you for it. Because y'all talk about it so much, you make it be the be all of a situation. So a woman is going to want to see you spend it. And if she the right one, she gonna try to use you for it. I'm just putting you up on game. Ladies, when a man is talking to you about dates he wants to take you on, what he wants to buy you, trips he wants to take you on, that is all talk. Do not listen to what he's saying. Listen to his actions. A lot of women bank on what a man is saying. Hey, adorable beauty. A lot of women bank on what a man is saying instead of what he's doing. His actions deserve your response, not what he's saying to you. What a man can say anything to you. People say anything to you to get what they want. And you have to remember that fact. A lot of people don't even think about that. So we already went through the first one. The first one was don't talk about what kind of relationship that you want to have when you first meet a woman, fellas. Because women will try to be that, number one, when they aren't genuinely that. Or number two, when they aren't genuinely that, they'll try to make you work harder to get them. Because they want to be able to prove that you're going to stay with them because you just listed this long list of shit that she not. So why would you stay with her if she's not all 6 of those things? So suddenly she starts to try to figure out a way for you to prove that you like her. And you might genuinely like her and she might not be none of those things. So that's number one. Number two, promises, dates, trips, gifts. Don't say none of that stuff. Because if you start talking about money off break, a woman is going to get into, I'm about to use him for whatever he got mode. Okay. She could probably like your personality, like who you are, but that shit becomes secondary because you just talked about all the money you got. Men always wonder how women, you know, why they using them for money. That's why, because you're talking about it. All right, number 3. When these men start talking to you about about your future together, you know what I mean? Like y'all grandchildren, y'all getting married, what house y'all gonna live in? Y'all gonna live in a mansion together. Y'all gonna have matching Porsches, Cayenne Porsches. Y'all going do, matching Cuban link necklaces or some shit like that. Something utterly fucking ridiculous. Gonna do matching outfits. If a man is just talking about that at the beginning of a situation, he's trying to sell a dream. Now that I listed those 3 things, doesn't that sound like a love bombing type of 3 types of things that men do and say in order to get women to do what they want? But the problem when men do those things, it encourages women to use them for money. All right. Got to jump through hoops. Adorable Beauty, thank you for watching that video. I don't know why people keep watching. People watch that video. That is still the most popular video I have out of all of the videos that I have done on my YouTube channel. People have watched that damn video of that Powerball chick who won the lottery. I'm sorry my voice sounds the way that it does because I am freezing. Like where I'm at is so cold and I'm under some cover. And I'm like freezing, so I'm shaking. So I think my voice might sound a little, because I'm like shaking. I'm so cold. But yeah, that's my like most popular video. But I wonder, no one is like surprised or confused about the term pillow princess. Pillow princess is a term that we used inside of the lifestyle, where a pillow princess is somebody who you sleep with who doesn't give you anything in return. Like a pillow princess is someone who lays there and doesn't do nothing in bed. They just lay there and make you do all the work. That's what pillow princess is. A lot of people don't know what that term means, but that's what that is, man. So anyway, um, women are starting to be more coming to the forefront from the beginning about how much money they want spent on them. Now, if a woman is approaching you talking about this off break, you have to understand you're dealing with a woman who is broke. If a woman is telling you off break, you got to do X, Y, and Z, or you got to spend this amount of money, or we got to go have a date at this specific place that's, the check is ridiculous. Most of the time it's because she can't even afford to take herself there. Because if you're dealing with a woman who always takes herself to a fancy place, she's not going to rush you or pressure you to take her there. All right. Now, I can give you an example of my own experience. I love Papados, right? Papados is a seafood kitchen in Atlanta. I used to take my daughter there all the time. I've been to that restaurant so many times because it's my favorite restaurant. But anytime a man has taken me there, and it's not even that expensive, anytime a man has taken me there, it's always been a man who just was financially in a good place in general. But I remember one guy asking me where I wanted to go. And I just randomly said, "Oh, Papados is my favorite restaurant." He was like, "You want me to take you to that fancy ass high end restaurant?" I can only afford taking you to like Applebee's or Chili's or something. But I was like, what? You think Papados is like expensive? It's Papados. It is not like La Fontaine Bleu or some shit like that, or some Morton's Steakhouse or something like that. Papados is not even that expensive. And so You got a lot of women who will say to men, I want to go to Papados, because the average dusty male can't afford something like Papados. They can only afford like a Chili's or Applebee's or 2 for $20 type of situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of average men out here. And honestly, if you're a hardworking man and you feel like you're a good man, you can get creative with these dates when you're taking women out on dates. You can actually download the Groupon app on your phone. Okay. And of course, you don't have to be like super vocal about you doing this with women, but download the damn Groupon app to your phone and you will be able to find a shit ton of stuff up there that's discounted for you to take this woman to, and it's creative. Women are starting getting tired of going out to dinner all of the time. And we're just talking about women who are good women. We're not talking about these chicks that's out here that's just trying to use you for money. We're just talking about good women. And when you're dealing with a good woman, she really just wants you to be creative, especially if she has her own bread. Okay? Girl, Christina, Lakeisha, they this dude actually, listen to me, okay? When I tell you that Atlanta is one of those places where it's all a facade and everybody look like they wealthy, everybody looks like they wealthy. People get dressed up just to go to the goddamn Walmart because they think they're gonna run into some type of celebrity or some shit. But they ain't got no money. A man could be fly as hell, ain't got no goddamn money. You know why? Because he's spending all of his money on looking wealthy instead of actually being wealthy. So he can only afford Applebee's and Chili's and shit like that. So anyway, what was I saying? I was saying, what the fuck was I saying before y'all took me off that? Y'all took me off. Y'all took me there because, oh, fellas, good women, right? And ladies, if you like Lakeisha and Christina, if you are a good woman yourself, you know what I'm saying. Because if you can take yourself to Papados, or you can take yourself to your favorite restaurant, you don't need a man to do it. It's nice for him to do it, you know, it's cool, but you don't pressure him to do it. And if he don't take you there, you don't look at him differently. So you got these good women out here who can afford to take themselves wherever they want to go. So you have to be creative with these type of women. You have to take them to places like maybe a paint and sip, like a paint and sip type of vibe where it's like a painting class and you bring a bottle of wine and you paint and drink together. Stuff like that. You have to be creative with these dates. You can't keep saying to women, let's go have dinner, let's go to the movies. That shit is played. It's played out. I know women got to be sick of this shit. Okay. Start thinking of some other shit. All right. So if you download the Groupon app, it's a lot of different shit on there. I mean, you could take a woman to the spa if it's, if you really confused, take her to a spa. You can get half off on the spa. You can take a woman using Groupon to go get her nails done and get like almost 50% off. So just think about these things. Like, you don't have to spend a shit ton of money to be able to spoil a woman. You know what I mean? But these women out here, they're going to want you to spoil them. The days of you not spoiling them are over, modern men. Okay? Excuse me, Jeanette. Celebs are a dime a dozen in Atlanta. They want to take you to bed like the average. Exactly. Exactly. But I don't think these buckethead broads have figured that out yet. These buckethead girls was going to All-Star Weekend fucking staying in U-Haul trucks and getting stuck in Atlanta and having to put up a GoFundMe just to get money to go back home. This is the type of stuff these women, these buckethead bird brain bitches was doing. Not even realize that Atlanta is one of those places where it's celebrities everywhere and they just want to fuck you, just like every single man. Every single man's intention, if you're dealing with the average Dusty, is wanting to sleep with you. And like I said yesterday in my live stream, alphas are harder to find because alphas lead the pack. So it's like for every one alpha, it's about 30 to 50 betas. So as a woman, we liable to run into a beta before we run into an alpha. That's why it's easy for a woman to be single if she has some type of value. You ever seen a woman that can keep a man all the time? She got a man every damn day. She got a man. She got a new man. You never see her single. It's because she's grabbing the men that are accessible. This goes back to what I was saying about the tree. I always use that tree, that fruit tree, as an example. When you see somebody that always got somebody, or they have a lot of variety, and they have like a lot of women or a lot of men, it's because they picking the fruit that's at the bottom of the tree. They're picking the low hanging fruit, or the fruit that's on the ground. When you are trying to reach higher than that, and you're trying to reach somebody that's more valuable, it's harder to get. You can't find those type of people easily. um I actually turned a celebrity down, lame personality and thirsty. I decided to stop dating celebrities a long time ago. Like, being in Atlanta, of course, celebrities approach me all the time. And plus, I was modeling. So, I just always was I'm in the entertainment industry. So when you in the entertainment industry, people, and you get invited to all types of private stuff, and you're meeting all kind of celebrities. Celebrities been in my face for most of my life. But I decided in my early 20s that I wasn't going to deal with celebrities like that, because they always seem to have access to so many women that it made it to a point where you had to work hard as fuck to be able to be in a relationship with them. And even if he thought you was appealing when he met you and y'all started dating, once you got into the relationship, matter of fact, Tyrese's wife was just talking about this. Tyrese's wife, ex-wife, he just got divorced. His ex-wife was just talking about how women should not date high value men. And excuse me, and I saw this on actually Derek Jackson's channel. And she was just talking about how much work you have to put in order to be with a man who is high value, or in order to be with a celebrity, because they have this attitude to where they have so much access to so many women that you have to work harder to keep his attention than you would the average man that's just walking down the street. And what Derek was saying was that, basically, what I always say, that as a woman, you got to pay attention to a man's character, not his celebrity, not his status, but what type of man he is, because that will determine how he treats you in a relationship. Because there are plenty of celebrities out there who have amazing wives and girlfriends, and they're not necessarily out here cheating. They're not making themselves so available. And I think a lot of women feel like because a man is a celebrity, or because a man has money, that must mean he's valuable. Nah, he could just have he can have a shitty ass character, man. He can be fucked up. Just because he got money don't mean he gonna be good to you. Especially, man, especially athletes. I remember one time, and it's funny that I'm about to tell this story and it's like relative to what I'm saying, because somebody just texted me today and said, "Oh my God, you alive?" I was like, "Yes, I'm alive." It was like, I can't believe it. But he saved my life. The guy that texted me today and said, "Oh my God, you're alive." He saved my life about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years. It had to been 5 years ago. And I went on a date with an Atlanta Falcon, right? And he took me to this bar called Dugan's on Memorial Drive. Anybody that's in Atlanta, Dugan's on Memorial Drive. I love Dugan's, right? It's like one of my favorite places. So it's not like Papados or nothing, but it's a bar. So, I really like it there. So he took me there. This man slipped me some type of drug to date rape my ass. And I don't know what he did to me, but I ended up with my car in the Papados parking lot. But I was in the Dugans on Memorial Drive. So the guy that texted me today and said, "Oh my God, you're alive," was the guy that came and got me out the parking lot, because I was in the parking lot damn near passed out at the Dugans because I had an alcoholic beverage, and the guy drugged me. The football player drugged me, and I don't know what he did to me. So when I came to, I was in the parking lot at the Dugans, and my car was at the Papados, and I don't know how I knew that that's where my car was. So I called the guy that texted me today. I called him and I said, "Can you come and get me? I need you to get me out of the Dugans parking lot, take me to my car." I don't know what he did to me, but I had dated him before, and he was the reason why I tell women two things. Number one, never go back to somebody that you dated before. Never circle back. And number two, don't date celebrities, because when I dated him the first time, he used to beat my ass. Like one time, and I tell y'all all the time in my 20s that I used to get beat a lot. I used to get beat because I used to be so docile. Like I used to think men were kings. I used to be like the typical Tanya who wanted to be married so bad. And I felt like I was just deep into like patriarchy and misogyny. Like misogyny and shit was running me. And it's a lot of women out there who are still stuck in that. And I'm not, like I tell y'all all the time, I'm not a feminist, but I do understand that a lot of the ways that women think as far as men go is to trap us, is to get us to be um, subservient to them. So one time I came to his house and he had just bought a brand new townhome. And he wanted me to move into the townhome. And so I brought over to his house like this, you know, the plastic thing that is like a I can't think of the name. I'm such a forgetful person. I swear to God, I think I got too much going on in my mind. But it's like a tub, like not even like a tub, like in a bathroom, but it has a top on it and it's plastic and you can put stuff in it. I came over there and brought that because I had some of my stuff with me, right? And I brought it over there, and that same night I fixed tacos, right? I fixed tacos. He loved the fact that I cook. He was like, "Oh my God, and you cleaned up after yourself. You're such a good woman, blah, blah, blah." He was like, "I want to take you out to such and such." So I took my stuff out of the tub to, you know, like my clothes and stuff, like a little bit outfits that could choose from to go out. And he made me put all my outfits out on the bed so he can pick what I could wear. And he picked what I wore, and we went out to the club. We get to the club. He in the club acting the fool. It's his birthday. And I guess one of his homeboys, I don't know who the homeboy's name was, but he walked up to me and was like, "Hey, you here with, you know, such and such?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm here with blah, 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 blah." And this nigga, this football player, seen me talking to this dude, grabs me, took me out of the club and beat my ass in a parking lot. And once we got back to the house, when that nigga went to sleep, I grabbed that tub of stuff and I was like, I can't carry this. I can't carry this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't carry this whole thing by myself because I was gonna go on foot. So I had to take some of the stuff out of the tub and just walk. And I left the rest of the stuff there. And so the next, you know, couple of days he realized he couldn't find me. He was like, "Well, I need you to come back and get your tub. It's okay. You know, you don't want to be with me no more. It's okay. You can come back and get your stuff." I came back to come get this shit. This nigga had threw all my stuff into the yard. Into the fucking yard. And that right there should have been enough for me to never talk to him again. But then a few years later, I seen him again and he took me to that Dugan's. And I don't know what he did to me. I don't know what he did to me, but my ass woke up in that parking lot. And I still had my phone. I have nothing else. Like I ain't had my purse or nothing. So I was like, if I go to my car, I won't have my keys any fucking way. And so the guy that called me today was like, "You alive?" He helped me figure out what was going on. So It's a really fucked up situation. So sad a well-known actor used my homegirl for her body. He sent her home in an Uber. She assumed he would at least take her shopping. Y'all gotta stop thinking that. Terica, tell y'all, listen to me. Every woman that's listening to the sound of my voice, baby, I'm telling you, do not think because these men got money, they're gonna be good to you. If anything, they're going to disrespect your ass. These men with money, they go through women like it's nothing. They actually have more than enough money to be able to toss thousands of dollars to you and still treat you like shit. They y'all got to start telling each other this stuff because I think what a lot of women are doing, they're trying to break fly, saying, "Oh, this guy took me this place, took me that place. He bought me this, he bought me that." But y'all leave out the bad shit that they do. Because if we really keep it a buck with each other as women about the stuff that men be doing to us, we could save a lot of other women from going through shit. A lot of people got on my case about me telling the truth about me and my son's father and the things that I went through with men. People got on my case. Like, Soncerae, you telling your business. Soncerae, why you telling all these stories? You must hate men. Nah, I'm trying to save somebody some time and some heartache. Because I know what I went through. I know how much pain I went through. I don't want any woman to go through the pain I went through. So I have to tell the story so women won't do it. Because they can think back and be like, oh, I remember Soncerae talking about this, blah, blah, blah. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing this. That's why I tell you, we got to tell each other this stuff, man. You cannot be sitting here pump faking. Because a lot of women pump fake, like, oh, I'm dating this athlete and everything is so amazing because they want to, like, fucking look good to their friends. You want to impress your homegirls and shit. Fuck all that. Like, I'm starting to believe that a lot of women wear makeup and hair just to fucking appease to other women. You know what I'm saying? So, as women, I mean, the best thing that we can do for each other really is tell the truth about what we be experiencing with men, man. Because men only do the shit that they do because we allow it. It isn't because, you know, any other reason. They want to do it and then we allow it. Because a lot of us are so pressed to have a man. So pressed. So pressed. And men notice, especially men with money. Men with money feel like they got options. Listen, when I talk about Kevin Samuels, right? Some men will come into my comment section. They're like, if you got money, you can do whatever you want with women. You know why they can do that shit? Because women are stupid enough to allow them to do whatever the fuck they want to do because they have money. If women go out there and get their own money, we can get the leash taken off our neck. See, women have a proverbial leash. We have a leash. Men have put leashes on all of us. And we can complain about being on this leash because the leash has like steel thorns in it. It's stabbing us in the neck. Our neck's bleeding from this damn leash. And we're sitting here like, listen, patriarchy is killing us. Please take this leash off my neck. And you got women like, girl, be quiet. Keep the leash on. Girl, don't. Nah, keep the leash on because that's the only time we're valuable because we got this leash on, we valuable to them. We worth something. We a high value woman when we got this leash on. Nah. Then men, you got men out here who are misogynist and sexist and they want patriarchy to live forever. When they know damn well patriarchy is that leash. So they like, well, there's nothing wrong with the leash as long as the bitches aren't complaining. Stop complaining about having the leash on. You're supposed to have the leash on. You see what I'm saying? And women don't even realize this because they're not, like, when you've been indoctrinated to believe something or you've been taught something your entire life, you don't know shit else. You don't know shit else. So you thinking men the be all. The reason why I can say this is because I was that woman. I'm not saying this because I wasn't and I'm just above all that shit. No, I was that. That's why I was in these situations where I was getting beat and lied to and manipulated and all that shit because I wanted a man so bad. I felt like if I was to be with him, I could be more valuable because if I could call myself somebody's wife, then that meant the rest of the world would clap, give me a reward and shit. But what other people think of your relationship or your relationship status is irrelevant as fuck at the end of the day. It's all a mind fuck. What society has programmed women to believe traps us. It puts us in like this box where we are subservient to men. And it's always been like this. And women, we know this shit. We know. We know, man. Oh, I know, right? Jeanette, he picked out my clothes. When he picked out my clothes, and he wasn't the only, like my son's father used to do that. He used to tell me I couldn't wear tights because he didn't want people to see my camel toe. He used to want me to not wear makeup. Now I'm starting to feel like men not wanting women to wear makeup, when this makeup makes us more beautiful, it gives us more access to more men. And I think men don't like that. I think they make fun of women for wearing makeup because of that. But I really used to wear makeup with my, when I was dating my son's father. I really wore it. And he claimed, that he didn't want his women to wear it, but I would wear it when I felt like it, you know what I mean? But usually when a man is trying to control what you're wearing, it isn't a form of, oh, he cares about me so much, he doesn't want anyone to see me. No, it's not that. It's a form of control. Now, I'm not saying going around here dressing like a hussy. You know what I'm saying? Being provocative and shit and having more men look at you. Because, the reason why we get dressed, we got this fuck 'em dress. We got these little short dresses, little tight bodycon joints where we got to put the waist trainers and shit on underneath so we can make sure our body's intact underneath the bodycon. The reason why we wearing that stuff is to attract men. So, of course, once you're in a relationship with a man, you shouldn't be wearing this stuff because you're not trying to attract men. You're trying to attract him. So, of course, if your man is, once you're in a relationship, I think you should change your attire, but not because a man is forcing you to or controlling you to, to do so. It's a choice that you should make for yourself. Every NFL player I dated is so lame. Lakeisha, I believe you. Rappers and ATL don't count as celebs. Exactly. ATL rappers, Southern rappers, they are not celebrities, but girls think they are. Girls think they are. For people who actually go through committed suicide. What are you talking about? Deezen Productions. Are you in my comment section talking about the rumor that spread about me? Let me go to that right quick and then circle back to what I'm saying right quick. And I'm gonna make it fast because people who've been listening to me for a long time already know this whole suicide crap. The rumor of me committing suicide started in 2016. It didn't start last year. People have been saying I committed suicide since 2016. The police kept showing up to my house over and over and over again, no matter how many times we moved. We moved at least 25 times. Since I came to California, I have moved so many times because people were finding out my address and they were sending police to my house to do welfare checks because they told the police that I killed myself in a live stream, killed my baby, killed my son's father, shit like that. This is what was happening. So when I heard the rumor start, because the rumor started again last year, and by this time I was dealing with so much shit from all of these trolls affecting my life, my real life, because virtual reality and real life is two different things. All right. And because I'm a content creator, I share my stories. Like, how many stories did I tell inside of this live stream right here? I told a lot of stories. I tell stories, my personal stories, to help someone. But a lot of people think when I tell these stories that must mean they know me personally and they can overstep a boundary. So a lot of people from the internet who were virtual people who didn't belong in my real life to begin with started stepping over a boundary. And so it pressure bust pipe. So when I heard the rumor again, I got upset. I got so upset to a point where I couldn't function properly. Like I was already sick, like physically sick. Like being on the internet was making me physically sick. And I wrote this down on my blog. So anybody who may be confused about what happened to me, it's because I took a 5-month break. I had to take care of myself. I couldn't worry about y'all. I couldn't worry about rumors that was being spread. I didn't give a fuck. I turned off my phone. I turned off, I logged off everything. And what I didn't do was talk to like Mark and my other moderators and shit like that. They didn't know where I was. So Mark was like calling my phone like crazy too. He didn't know where I was either. So that was the only mistake I made, because when I didn't answer them, they took to my social media and announced my suicide as well, because they believed it to be true as well. Someone was spreading like a rumor through an email. It was like an email blast was sent out. And I still to this day do not know who did this. And it just spiraled out of control because I wasn't saying anything. But I couldn't focus on y'all. I had to take care of my real life. I had to take care of myself, because y'all motherfuckers was killing me. And it's not all y'all, because some of y'all I love, you know what I mean? But half of y'all was trying to kill me in real life. And I needed to focus on my family. All right. So I didn't like purposely go out here and just like put together this whole suicide scheme to hurt people. And I know people going around saying that, because sometimes people come in my comment section, they be like, why you fake your death? I'm like, I didn't fake my death. One guy said, how could everybody be so forgiving of this girl when she faked her death? Because I didn't fake my death. Like, I didn't do that. The people in my life, like the real people in my life, knew where I was. But if you were a virtual person, a person that's like my supporter, you had no clue where I was. But I do want to tell that story anytime I hear somebody talk about suicide in my comment section, because I want people to understand I'm not the type of person that sit here and fake my death. It's too sensitive of a topic. You know what I mean? I'm just not gonna, play with something like that. But please understand that from 2016 until like even to this day, suicide is one of those topics where it's very sensitive to me, because so many people told me to kill myself. I mean, and when you hear hundreds of thousands of people telling you that, it fucks with your head. And that's why I needed to step back, because I felt close to doing it. That's why I took the 5 months, because someone literally put it out there and they had a whole story. They were saying my best friend Marie was, saying it, and my daughter found my body and stuff. They were very vivid. All right. So when I seen the email myself and they was very descriptive and detailed, it hit me different. It almost to a point where I wanted to do it. And I haven't said, I never said that, but I've said before that I wanted to commit suicide before. In 2016, I said that. You have to understand what happens to your mental health when you hear people tell you something like that over and over and over and over. Okay? Like, don't do that to people. When you consistently tell somebody something like that over and over and over again, this is why people are doing it. This is why you have like content creators or people who've been on the internet, like little teenagers and shit. Teenagers get trolled more than adults do, I think. But you got teenagers out here who just randomly committed suicide, and everybody's like, what? How did that even happen? Because usually what's happening to them, a lot of people don't know. And when you go out here and you try to tell people, I got people sending me messages telling me to do it. That's sick. Okay, Lakeisha, back to what I was saying. Get off that topic, because it's very, very sad. I don't want to keep talking about that. So, oh yeah, they dangle that money like a piece of cheese. He didn't take her shopping. Famous athletes are known for doing that. Well, that's what I was saying in the beginning of the live stream, where I was talking about 3 things that men need to stop doing if they want women to stop using it for money, and 3 things that women need to stop listening to if they want men to stop manipulating them and using them. One is when he tells you what type of woman he wants. Fuck that. Don't listen to that. Who cares what type of woman he wants? you need to be trying to figure out what does he want from you specifically. Because he can sit here and he can tell you what type of woman he wants. He only telling you that so you can try to be it. He can already see you ain't it. But he'll tell you what type of woman he wants so you can become that. All right. Long live patriarchy, beat me, whip me, make me write bad checks, dress up from neck to ankle. Wow. I'm glad Backpages got shut down. The price them girls were charged. Jeanette, Jeanette, listen. I told one of my homegirls that's on OnlyFans with me. I said, honey, like you bad as hell. Like you fine as shit. Like you fine as hell. I'm like, you light skinned, you got your little flat stomach, you know. I mean, you just brick house fine. Why the fuck are you charging $6 a picture? I was like, girl, why are you charging six? I said, I don't charge $6 a picture, and I don't look as good as you, boo. What you doing? She was like, well, I figured out that I would make more money if I made it cheaper, if it was more men. She was like, if I charge them $5 to $7, I can get more men to buy it and I make more money. And I said, I understand that, but then I feel like more men have access to you. To me, it's like I would charge. Like, listen, when I first got on OnlyFans, my nudes were $1,000, my full body nudes, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give these dusties a break because coronavirus. I know the dusties in here struggling. They need like the wealthy men, the high value men, the alphas. They got $1,000 to kick out. But what about what about the dusties? So I was like, all right, I'm gonna take it down some. So then it was 75. It was 75 for each. No, it was 500. Then I to put it down to 75. And so now I'll do them for 75, but then if I'm doing a special, I'll do them for maybe 25 or 50. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll have my times where I do specials, or I'll, do OnlyFans. Like they can come in onto my OnlyFans for a month for free. Like for a trial for 30 days or something like that. Like I just lost maybe 50 subscribers on the 14th because of February 14th of last year. February 14th of last year, I made a 1 month subscription free. So in order for them to come back, they got to redo their subscription. So I lost like 50 guys, and they're slowly coming back. Like, oh shit, I can't see Soncerae anymore. So I gotta like redo my subscription. Anyway, Backpages wasn't all bad. Some women made money on there. Yes, like I don't think that OnlyFans is gonna turn into like a Backpage type of situation, because what OnlyFans is doing, they're becoming more mainstream. They are starting to focus more on people that aren't doing adult film stuff. $40 special for 30 minutes of head game. That's that's too cheap. That is cheap. I don't know why. Let me tell you something. I personally like the whole reason for this live stream was to talk about how much women are worth, right? Because the guy that I was engaged to last year said he paid for my pussy. And I'm like, dude, you remember how much money you paid for my pussy, right? You remember how much money you kicked out. Just remember, if you want to circle back and try to come back, I'm gonna make your ass pay twice as much, since you want to sit here and say that you was paying for pussy. All right, I got you, my nigga. How about next time? You're gonna pay twice as much, since you want to play them type of games. But if I was a prostitute or a high-end like escort or something like that, I would be the most expensive goddamn escort there is. Now, I'm uncomfortable with pornography. I know some women that can. They can do pornography, they can do prostitution, they can do all that stuff. I cannot do that. I have been struggling. Like today I had an OnlyFans shoot, and I struggled to even take pictures with the toys that men sent me. Men send stuff to my P.O. box all the time. They send lingerie, they send money, they send books, they send shoes, they send anything I want. If I ask a man for something, he's gonna send it to me. I'm like, send it to my P.O. box. All right. Men always have taken good care of me as far as stuff like that. Okay. Men will kick out money. That's not hard. But I struggle today trying to take pictures with toys. I cannot do that. Like, that is not my thing. Like, I have to tell the fellas I cannot do that. Like, I'm not gonna put that on the list of things to do because I just can't. Like, first of all, there's so many things that I do inside of a relationship that I just cannot take a picture of and make a video of and sell it. I don't know how women do that shit. Like, when people was going around saying I did pornography, I'm like, if you only knew me, you would know how difficult it is for me to do pornography. When people call me a hoe and shit like that, if they only knew how difficult it is for me to interact with a man sexually, it is so hard. I look sexy and I'm a beautiful woman, and I just, my sex appeal is there. But when I get in a relationship or I get involved, it is so hard. It is so hard for me to open up in a man in that manner, you know. Daryl, you said you heard all that. Yeah, I don't know why people would be like that and then make it seem like I'm the problem. You know, I don't want to talk about that because it makes me sad. You know what I mean? Like, it makes me sad, and it took me a long time to no longer be as sad. Even when I came back on the internet, when I first came back, I was like, I was still dealing with, excuse me, I was still dealing with depression, but I fought my way through that, and I feel so much better now. And I just don't want to circle back to that. I had to learn how to deal with people, because you got to deal with people different on the internet than you have to deal with people in real life. Because people get on the internet and they turn stupider than they were before. Like, let me tell you something. You know how you hear about people who like win the lottery? You know what I mean? Like, people who, if they get money, it just enhances the issues that they had. That's all money does. So if a good person is a good person, they're gonna do more good stuff with their money. If a person is a smart person and they win the lottery, they're gonna do more smart stuff with their money. If a person is ignorant and they make more money, they win the lottery, they're gonna be more ignorant. If a person is abusive and they get more money, they're gonna be more abusive. The internet is kind of similar. It's like, if a person is a good person, they're gonna be more good on the internet. They enhance who they are. What people tend to do on the internet is they create a fake character of who they are and become that person for the internet. And depending upon who that person is, determines who they'll be. So you got people who are trolls where they'll make fake accounts. Those people are fucked up in real life. You're never going to see a person who's a good person just be a troll. When a person is trolling, like, to the degree to where they're telling a person to kill themselves or something demented like that, there's something going on in their personal life where they're with their mental health. That shit is a whole nother, like, level of virtual reality that a lot of people don't even realize exists. Because most people get on the internet, like the average person that's getting on the internet, to get on the internet for entertainment and then they move on. They don't stay on the internet. Like, people like me, I got to get on the internet every day because it's my job. I'm a content creator. But there are people out there who get on the internet, might talk to their friends on Facebook or whatever, and then get off. Might watch a couple of TikTok videos, maybe some YouTube videos, and get off. And then you got people who are inside of this audience who eat, sleep, shit, and breathe YouTube. Everything is about YouTube. They're not a content creator, but YouTube fuels them, the community. Internet enhances people just like money does. Right now, likes, shares, views, that's currency. That's currency. I don't know if you guys know this, but I think it's somewhere in China. I think in China, they're starting to basically base who you are in a societal hierarchy type of manner. They're basing your virtual reality off of how many likes, views, subscribers that you have, and letting that be the determining factor about whether you are a valuable person or not, or whether like kind of how we do, like right now, if a person has a shit ton of followers, then they're clearly a celebrity to people. To me, I don't think if you have a lot of subscribers and followers and shit like that instantly makes you a celebrity. I will never understand how Instagram, how Instagram people can have a blue check and then other people don't. Have you ever tried to figure out like why somebody has a blue check? It's like I've looked at even reality stars and I'll be thinking to myself, why does this person have a blue check? And then I realized the reason why these people have a blue check is because other people have tried to create accounts in their name. So if you want to get a blue check on Instagram to make your profile certified, all you have to do is create a whole bunch of fake accounts in your name and then just start leaving comments, getting subscribers and followers and shit in your name using your face, your name. Get about 20 to 50, maybe even 100 accounts, Instagram accounts of your name, and you can get a blue check on Instagram. That's all it is. And people think that check make you a celebrity. Nah, it's just the check is there because other people have created fake profiles about that person, and they do that a lot to celebrities. So in order for us to figure out who's really the celebrity, who that account genuinely belongs to, they put the check next to it. So you got people out here who not celebrities at all. They went out there and they created the fake profiles and ended up with the check. So now it makes them look like they're a celebrity. And then that creates an illusion to where now they have more people following them and more people following them and more people following them, because people will follow somebody that they believe is a celebrity. But if you not in the entertainment industry and you're not on social media and know the ins and outs of social media the way I do, you're not going to know that. You're not going to know that a person that has a blue check is just a person who, pimped the game. You're going to think, oh, that blue check person is a celebrity. Nah, not. It's just, no. It has nothing to do with celebrity. Nothing whatsoever. I'm seeing more and more disturbing things on Pornhub, interracial race play. Let me tell you something. I knew the world was getting sick when I seen this site called the Black Payback. And basically, it's just men having their way with white women. We're disrespecting them, slapping them around, gagging them with their appendage, shit like that. I said, Lord. I know there's some demented stuff on the internet, like bestiality and stuff like that you see on the dark web. And I know on the dark web, they have videos up of, people getting murdered and raped, and they sell the stuff for money. I know that's there, but it's starting to, like, that dementia, that psychotic shit is starting to spill over into regular internet. You'll see Slick see it. I seen it on Netflix. Like, here's my thing with Netflix. When I watch little teenage shows now, they flat out having sex straight out. Like, everything is about sex. Most of the little teenage shows, they talk about sex more than anything. Now, I remember when I was a teenager, we talked about sex a lot, but it wasn't all over the television. Now, these kids have access to sex the way that they would if they were watching, like, porn. Hub. That soft porn where it's like erotica, like the kind of porn that they claim is for women, where it's just like sensual and very like love making that's what the sex looks like in regular movies right now on Netflix. So by the time my son's son get older, they're gonna be having sex all out in the open. Trust me, they'll have sex all in the street. They don't care. They have sex all just right there in the middle of a restaurant. You try to sit there, eat your damn peas and shit. You know, you look over two people doing it right there, and you don't even care because you know what? That's just the usual thing. Like I used to think it was nasty that people ate at the strip club. I could never understand, but they would go into this strip club called Strokers. Every time men would talk about strokers, they would always talk about how good their wings are. And I'd be like, why the fuck are you talking about wings? You eat at the strip club? Like, that's so nasty to me. Like, the strip club is such a nasty place. Why would you want to eat there? Like, I don't understand the logic in that. But people do it. Race play is for low self-esteem people. Look at Chad Wheeler. That's why he beat that girl. I'm telling you, a lot of men don't understand it. That type of entertainment, adult entertainment, is also fake. It's fictional. Just like how people look at romantic comedies and they expect relationships to be that way. They expect love and relationships to be that way. It's the same thing with that type of stuff, that adult entertainment. Men actually think that that's the way sex is supposed to be. It's just like, oh my God. Oh my God. And y'all, I'm just surprised so many of y'all watch it. Like Tiffany is like, ghetto gaggers is just, I can't take it. Like, I'm surprised so many of you watch it. Like women. Because it's not appealing to women at all. It's like, what is this? I just be looking at it like it does nothing for me. It does nothing for me. I don't know what's going on with me as far as my sexuality goes. But I think it's because I'm demisexual. Like I gotta be in love to feel sexual. Like I gotta really be into a dude in some type of way to, want to have sex with him. And I've been like that for a long time. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. It's just I don't know. It's just none of that stuff does anything for me. But anyway, so how are women supposed to be valued as women if we got stuff like that out there? You got women out there that's allowing themselves to be slapped around and all types of stuff for money. When you got women that's out there doing that, it's just like, how are regular, average, everyday women going to function in a society where you got men out here thinking that what they see on adult entertainment websites is real? Because not everybody going to be able to decipher the difference. Not everybody is mentally, in a place where they be able to decipher the difference. I'm just noticing. I gotta eat. I'm hungry, y'all. I got to go. I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Bye, y'all.